What's good? What's good? What's good, my brother?
And what's going on? Birdman hand rub off the Bucks, man.
Yeah, how you been, man?
Man, good.
That's good. That's good. Another day, another dollar.
Yes.
So today, the general topic, we tend to get off topic, but the general topic is going to be about.
Yeah, we're gonna jump into a specific era in hip hop. One with a really huge payout, not money wise, but I would definitely say it was a big payout for hip hop in general, as far as swagger for one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say like jump on lyricism and shit because it's like subjective and shit. Like you can throw it either or and shit. Like some people might not like it, some may, but also impact.
Definitely impact.
And the era we are going to talk about, Dipset era.
Yes, let's get into it.
And since that, like, Cameron happens to be one of your favorites.
Top five college.
Yeah, top five. I'm going to let you take the floor, man. Go ahead. Give us what you got, man.
Man, this first and foremost, shout out Dipset, shout out Cameron, Jewels, Freaky Zeke, Jim Jones, even the older members of like Hell Rail, 40 Cal, J.R. Ryder. I forgot the female name.
I know who you talking about.
Yeah, used to always have the bush.
So, yeah, and then I think eventually she went down to like the curls and shit. I forgot what.
Yeah, I forgot what her name is. But shout out to them. And man, this was probably the most influential group in my time, in my life. You know what I mean?
That's definitely facts for you.
I want to start off by saying, like, I was always a big Cameron fan, even before, like, Rockefeller and Dipset, when he was making songs, the Horse and Carriage with Mace and all of that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So I would, What Means the World to Me is one of my favorite songs of all time.
For real?
And we're going to get into it because you said it was subjective with lyricism.
Yeah.
I feel like he's one of the most underrated lyricists of all time.
All right, we're going to have to speak on that. That's what's up.
I'm a quote. I'm gonna get the quote wrong because it's been a while since I heard this song. But this had to be about 1999. So What Mean the World to You come out, and this is before he's like doing the slow rapping. So he's like kind of fast rapping and it gets to a part in the song where I hope I don't mess it up too bad, but it makes sense where he's like, I'm the top baller in every state. And then he gets to naming these states and places and ballers that he is in each state, and it's rhyming. Like, I think he goes like, in Chi, I'm Mike, in Boston, I'm Kenny, in Miami, I'm Timmy, in Phoenix, I'm Penny. And it's just like, yo, he's like, he's going through these cities and he's rhyming. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, this nigga's like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so fast forward, this has to be about 2002. And of course, this year is pretty much monumental because at this time, I'm already a huge Jay-Z fan. And I'm not yet a Rockefeller stan, but I'm a Jay-Z stan at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, when I hear that they had signed Cameron, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I remember Horse and Carriage and What Mean the World to You. I remember that. I wonder how that's going to work out, though, because, Rockefeller is more so you're going to slow rap with impact versus, like, Cam fast rapping. But,
yeah.
Of course, he adjusted. You know what I'm saying? And so when he came out with, like, a different kind of swag where it's like he's, like, methodically telling these stories, like these drug dealing stories,
mm-hmm.
and they got like these they brought fashion, I feel like, to drug rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when he's coming out with these songs like "Oh Boy," and "Hey Ma,"
both the classics, bro. The classics.
super classic. So it's like. It was like I felt like that was the wave of like, damn, it's really cool to be a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like, like, damn, I want to sell drugs now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
but don't sell drugs, kids.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that, y'all. But at the time, this is what the feeling was. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like he's on this super hot wave, and then he's incorporating like member after member. You know what I'm saying? Like Joel Santana comes in. And then Jim Jones comes in, and then it's just like, of course, Freaky Zeke's not really never a rapper, but he's there for entertainment purposes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely facts.
Shout out to Freaky Zeke because I definitely just like did a comedy skit about his skit.
So all of his skits like were hilarious, bro.
It's hilarious. Like
my favorite to this day is the one where he was getting head in the car. And she threw up on him. That had me
drunk.
dying.
Yeah.
I just bought this white tee. You done got it on my chain.
I love Freaky Zeke. That's a hilarious dude. And even before I'm going to turn it over to you, years later, when they got into that beef with 50 Cent, remember that?
Yep.
And it was like, okay, we've been wanting to see this. So it was like it's the gangster rap that G Unit has versus the swag rap, the swag drug rap. I don't even know how to describe it because they had swag, gangster, drug mixed with a little comedic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of my favorite beefs of all time because you got a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Man. And that came from both camps.
Yeah, facts. Super facts.
Because 50 was definitely clownish in his own right.
Yeah, very, very clownish. Very clownish. So it's like, man, when I tell you he's like one of the most impactful, like, I'm not big on being starstruck, but I feel like he's one of the ones that if I seen him in person, he would be starstruck. I even got a story about him posting me on Instagram before.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that I'll get into later on. But how was it from your perspective, though?
Man, from my perspective, I remember when I first heard Dipset.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the Hey Ma, like, I started off, like, really just liking the Hey Ma song. Like, because I was really big on music anyway.
Okay.
And just any types of music was just, it was really reaching to my ear and shit. And it was just like, man, this is good. And since I already had like that musical ear, it's just like once you start listening to them, because they had top tier production. That's one thing, man.
Yeah.
Top tier production. I was listening to Dipset on the way over here. And we already talked about that. I was listening, just this morning. I went on a Dipset tirade.
Me too.
And when when I first heard Dipset, I was a teenager.
Okay.
Because I wasn't really allowed to listen to too much when I was a kid. Because like somewhat strict household, mom wouldn't allow it. Mm-hmm. But once I really started listening to like Dipset and shit, like it was over. It was over. And I remember the first album that I listened to of theirs was actually the later album. That's the Purple Haze.
Love it. Classic.
Purple Haze by Cameron.
I feel like that's one of the greatest albums of all time. But yeah, go ahead.
Man, that shit was fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. That.
What about the skits on there with what was his name? Mizzle?
Yeah, I want some of that shit, man. It was funny, bro. They had so much character.
It was almost a complete package. Like if you was to get into the music industry, that's what you should have strived to be if you were that kind of rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Like Yeah.
They were really funny, but at the same time, you don't want to test them when
Right.
it comes to certain things.
Right.
Because honestly, like, they were really good rappers in their own right.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course.
Because J.R. Ryder didn't get as much credit as he should have.
Heck no. Shout out J.R. Ryder.
He was actually a really good rapper, and people would just put him down because he wasn't the best out of Dipset. Like,
which was subjective.
yeah, because you can't really put him in a class with people who are outshining him.
Right.
Like, you think Dipset, you think Cam, Jewels, Freaky Zeke, Jim.
Yeah.
That's about it. You don't think of too many other people. But I mean, like, they can probably think like some of the heavier Dipset fans, and they'll be like, they'll think Max B or some shit like that. Like,
shout out, I love Max B. By the way.
Max B on the hooks.
Yeah.
Max B on the hooks. Come on, man. They ain't get no better. Like, I remember, with Jim, I know Jim Jones was my man.
Facts.
Like, for a long time, from like 2008 to
because remember early on, people used to always say Jim Jones couldn't rap.
Yeah.
But once it hit that era, that was that 2008.
Yeah. Because it was like 2008, 2009. And I tell you this, Hustler's Poem.
Classic.
Instant I heard
Classic.
it, and I tell you right now, I was sold.
Classic.
This man, oh my goodness. I listened to that album so many times. I remember I used to play my video game, like my Xbox 360, with playing Burnout.
Okay.
On my Xbox 360, having that blasting every single time I'm playing. I'm playing it for hours, and it's like I'm playing the same album on repeat, and I couldn't get enough of it.
Facts.
And
super classic, man. Shout out Jim Jones, man.
Man, and then he started coming out with more and more albums, and it just gradually got better. I remember I loved Pray for Rain.
Yeah.
Pray for Rain was a very good album because he was talking about a lot of like the situations that he went through growing up and shit like that.
Facts.
And how about his kids and shit like that. I loved that. And it was some that I really didn't like. The little with Ron Browse and shit. I ain't really fuck with that like
Which
that.
one was that?
Son, I forgot the name of the song and shit. But Pop Champagne is that was the jump.
Yeah, see, that one, no, but it was another one from around that time period that I absolutely love, and I think it was called like The Perfect Day or something like that.
Let me see. Was that a Jim Jones song?
Yeah, we could be anywhere in the world, but we right here.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
I heard that. Yeah, that I think that.
Day. Yeah, like
I forgot who
got me thinking about a perfect day.
Yo, that's on.
I don't know. I forgot.
That might be on one of his newer Jones and shit.
Nah, it was around that time though.
I know it was around.
Yeah, I don't know if it was on an album or a mixtape, but I'm almost certain because it was a video for. I'm almost certain it was like on that same album with Pop Champagne. I'm almost certain.
It might be, but
I
haven't listened to that joint in a long ass time.
Yeah, so
I might have to listen to that joint again. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But rewinding for me, of course, was towards the end of high school, the balling. Of course,
we fly high.
Iconic. Like you knew once you heard I wear mean dark pair shades. You already know what time it was. Like
you can't see my eyes unless my head is bent. You knew what time it was.
You knew what time it was.
Man, that shit was fire.
That I used to go crazy over that and Summer with Miami.
I love that. That joint was fire.
Yeah, like that one.
That wasn't even on that joint. I think that was Diary of a Summer.
Yeah, that was when they had started beefing with Jay-Z. So all they hit songs was like sub 2 shots at Jay-Z at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because remember Jay-Z had the Dear Summer.
Yeah.
And then that was his rebuttal, Summer with Miami. Like that was yeah, that was
every song that had like summer in it. It just had to be fire.
It was definitely fire.
Because I remember 3-6 had a song called The Summer and shit. That shit was fire.
Yeah, I mean if you couldn't come out with music in the summertime and it not be good. Because, you know, then you would have lost credibility as an artist. You would have, though, because it was like, because that was something that was so heavily looked upon. You hear rappers mention it, like, at least back then, all the time. Like Jay-Z would be like, yeah, I done flooded y'all 6 straight summers, you know, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that was what artists look forward to, is like flooding the streets in the summertime.
Yeah,
you know, everybody outside.
Yeah, for real, because that's when like schools let out and they listen to nothing but music all day.
Facts.
Like if you at the basketball court, somebody bring a radio or something, y'all listening to music, or somebody at like just anywhere and just walking around with like they cause you know we kind of old and shit, and they little Walkman, or they got their
Facts.
we used to call it the Discman because it had the CDs instead of the junk. Hey, walking around one of those. I remember I used to listen to the Jewel joint on my old Discman, like the what's the joint called? It's the album after From Me to You and shit. I forgot what the joint's called and shit. Cause I'm trying to. He got so many fucking albums and shit.
It wasn't Back Like Cook Crack, was it?
Nah, Back Like Cook Crack. That was the mixtapes, right?
Yeah, that was the mixtape. From Me to You.
Cause it was From Me to You, and then he had the other joint and shit. I keep forgetting. I'm gonna actually have to.
Yeah, so that was From Me to You. That was Santana. That's Santana.
Yeah. No, that wasn't. No, Santana. That one came out on the Back Like Cook Crack 2, I believe. And
so?
yeah, I think that's where that one came from.
I think that was on the album. What was Mike Check on?
Mike Check was Back Like Cook Crack.
I used to go crazy over that.
Yeah, that was Back Like Cook Crack.
Okay. Yeah, I used to go crazy over Mike Check.
And they make mixtape singles, and that's the shit that used to blow the fuck out. I was like, how do you come out with this shit and it's a mixtape single?
Yeah, and that was in a time period where mixtapes wasn't, you know, such a huge thing.
Yeah, unless you was Lil Wayne.
That was even before then. That was even before like the Lil Wayne era. That was like right before that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And yeah, him, because up to that point, the only person who would utilize the mixtape platform heavily, I felt like, was 50 Cent and G Unit. Because what they would do is they would, you know how Lil Wayne take like hit songs and then redo them just with freestyles.
Yeah,
they would take like hit R&B songs and stuff and give it a gangster twist to it. Yeah. And not to get too far off the top, but they had you remember the Busta Rhymes and Mariah Carey song, Give It To Me?
Oh yeah. That was a classic.
G Unit had this crazy remix to it. Like they put a gangster mix to it, and it was just so fire. But anyways, back to the Dipset.
Hold up. Just a disclaimer. It was called What the Gang's Been Missing. That was the jump, bro. And another thing, female Dipset artist, Jaja.
Jaja, got you.
And I had to look that shit up on my phone.
Yeah, shout out Jaja. Man, one thing we can't talk about them without bringing up the beats.
Thank you, Kanye. Thank you, Just Blaze.
Thank you, this man. I mean, how what a luxury, right?
Yeah.
Like to have them in your, like you're on the label with Kanye West, who at this time is just like already king.
That nigga passed king. that nigga jumped to God level. I was like, how the hell? Son, Dipset forever?
One of my favorites.
Son, Dipset forever. Like, down and out.
Down and out, yeah.
Bro, yeah. He had classics. Not even just with Dipset.
Oh, yeah.
Kanye had classics way before that.
Jay-Z, Blueprint. Like half a Blueprint is Kanye. It's shout out to Kanye. Yo.
Man, definitely shouts out to Kanye.
Shout out to Kanye, man.
Hey,
man.
We still love you, bro.
Yeah.
Just I mean, to me, honestly, I don't even care about the shit you doing now. Yeah. It don't bother me.
And shout out to Just Blaze too.
Another thing,
Just Blaze. We don't know where he's at right now.
He probably still making beats and shit. Like,
probably.
He was one of the geniuses too. And shit. Like we talk about like Dr. Dre and shit.
Yeah,
Just Blaze was a genius. He was a genius.
You talk about niggas lighting the summer on fire. Like you know when you Just Blaze. You know you heard that like. All right. Yep. See what we got.
Yep. You already know what's about to happen.
All right, so let me ask you this, right? Out of Dipset, who's your favorite?
Hands down, Jewels.
Joel?
Yes.
For me, it's hands down Cameron.
I mean, obvious. Like, you didn't have to answer that question. They already know what your answer's gonna be.
Yeah. I fuck with all of them though. Like I even the ones that people don't get credit to. Like I like Hell Rail. I like 40 Cal. Like they had, you know, J.R. Ryder used to me at one point was like the king of freestyles.
Mm-hmm.
And his pen was like super potent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they could make hit songs. The situation just didn't work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't stop. Grill him.
Yeah, so stuff like that. And what was that? Dipset's the best out. Because during the hook, they was like describing all the members of like Dipset's the best out. Hell Rail, he fresh out.
I will remember it if I heard the song.
Yeah, Jones the Koofy Smacker. He bringing them texts out. 40 style, 40 cal. He bringing Corvettes out. And it was like Bezel the Beast, but he still show you a fresh bout. You know who's shaving the grams, 40K on the hand, and kill a nigga. What more can I say about Cam? J.R.'s the writer of writers, and Santana back like cook crack. He even supplied the suppliers. So like that. Shit like that was just like, yo, these niggas is like, this shit is unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like...
It seemed like everybody in that camp had something new to bring to the table.
Yeah, and it's all fire. It's all
besides
fire.
like Freaky, but that nigga, he was just funny and shit.
Yeah, and it's why I want to take it back like to the Cameron thing is because like he got like an unorthodox style.
Definitely unorthodox.
Yeah, so it's like the storytelling is like top tier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if you say the lyricism isn't top tier, his storytelling ability is top tier. Like it's just I don't know. Like I feel sorry for people who like missed that era.
Man, you ain't the only one, bro. Cause that Dipset era was something special.
Definitely special.
I mean, there were other eras where like people came out and they made waves.
Yeah.
But theirs was so iconic. They go into the hood in Harlem. In Harlem. Shooting videos and shit like that. And
shout out Harlem, man.
And
Harlem, man.
this nigga, like, he can pull up in a whole pink fur coat. And nobody touches him.
Pink Timbs.
Yeah, nobody touches him.
Pink hat. Like,
yeah. These niggas were literally the kings of Harlem.
And what pressure, considering the history of Harlem.
Yeah.
Like, cause you know we sit back and we look at like the things that we doing, like in our lives, and it's like nobody's been here before us, here where we at. You know what I mean? So what we're trailblazing now is like you're not living up to nothing. You're just setting the tone.
Yeah, it's like it's uncharted territory.
Right. But imagine like the history of having like imagine us doing this and it's just like Forrest had a rich history or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like oh you can Nicky Bonds and Frank Lucas and all like you just got this rich history of like these actors and kingpins and just like the other rappers before you from the 80s and it's just like wow.
Maybe we do have KD, but I mean that don't count.
Yeah, shout out KD. Yeah, he's a KD kind of like the trailblazer.
For basketball.
For basketball, yeah.
I mean, we got Wale. Kind of.
Wale really a trailblazer, though?
I mean, but...
I don't want to ruffle no feathers.
But that nigga... I mean, Wale's still good. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I like Wale.
He's still
good. But trailblazer out, you know. All right. Maybe he did set the trail on fire. Maybe he did.
Yeah, because...
not a long trail, but...
Come on, bro. Nike boots, man.
But that's local though.
It doesn't matter.
It does though.
But like, it's still fire.
We're in Maryland talking about Harlem. Niggas not in New York talking about Nike boots. All
right, I get it. All right, cool.
Like,
you
like
win.
No, I'm just saying like that's what I mean. Like that's I get it. Like yeah, the area. Yeah, That's just I don't know. I kind of been on that because remember when 50 Cent was beefing with Ja Rule and them,
Yeah.
and in the Piggy Bank song, he told Jadakiss he told him something like, "Don't fuck with me if you want to eat. I do your punk ass like Jay did Mobb Deep." And then he was like, "Yeah, homies in New York, they love your vocals, but that's only in New York, nigga. Your ass is local." And then that's how I've been looking at shit from that point on. It's like, okay, it's a local thing, and then it's a worldwide thing. You know what I'm saying?
And whole T, we don't give the nigga 50 a lot of credit when it comes to his diss songs.
Yeah, top tier.
This man,
He's top tier.
yes,
He's top
he didn't
tier.
give a fuck who he was talking about.
Yeah,
He's gonna talk about you.
yeah. He's
Like
top
that,
tier.
I mean, they talk about Eminem doing diss songs and shit, but nah, his is sort of like subliminal.
I would be more scared of G Unit than I would of Eminem. Yeah. When he was beefing with Cameron, and at this time I used to like both of them, not
Yeah.
equally, but 50 was like right under. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And in the funeral music song, he told Cameron, he said, he was like, I'm trying to get the lines together. What did he tell Cam that made me just like, damn, these niggas got a battle on their hands and shit? He was like, I can't even remember. It's gonna come to me. But he told Cameron something, and I was like, damn, these niggas got a battle on his hand because they don't get no realer than that and shit. You know what I'm saying? All the jokes and shit. He done came out and said some super real shit. Yeah. All right. So this was around the time that, remember, Young Buck had stabbed somebody at the BET Awards?
Yeah, I remember that.
The nigga told Cam, he said, Buck stabbing niggas on camera, but it's okay, because my money make the lawyers make that shit go away. Attempted murder, he only got a year of probation. Cam, are you clear what you facing? And then he ended it by saying, you must ain't hear me. I done told you I'm a boss. I'm eating good, but I ain't chubby like Ricky Ross. Word on the street is 50's not Jay, and Cam better stay out his way. And when I heard that, I was like, yo, it's about to be a battle, man. Like,
And these niggas, they ain't that far away from each other.
yeah. Because that's when Cam had just finished the beef up with Jay-Z and shit. And shout out to Cam, because that's a tall task, right?
Yeah, it is, because 50 was like the king of foolery at that point.
Right. Like, you just finished up a beef with Jay-Z, and then you got to turn right around into 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it's like you go from Muhammad Ali, now you got to go to Mike Tyson and
Joe
shit.
Frazier's in mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's shout out. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like music is missing now. Like the real competition. Like, not because right now it be competition, but people don't want it to seem like it's competition.
Yeah, because I know when Kendrick came out with the little control shit.
Yeah.
Like, that was when the whole competition thing should have, like, sparked up. Like, niggas
You
was
should have.
supposed to be going at it.
Yeah, I don't
But,
know this one.
like, niggas was jumping on tracks forward. I remember a lot of people didn't hear this, but that nigga Graf made a control freestyle, and that shit was fire.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, that nigga Graf started off as a battle rapper.
Right.
And his lyricism is top tier. I've been a fan of his ever since, like, 2004.
Okay.
So, like, matter of fact, it was like, I remember I heard the first time I ever heard him was on NFL Street. The I Don't Care song. Like, after that, I was like, who is this? And I ain't start really listening to, like, albums and shit until, like, later on in life and shit when I got his mixtape from from my high school and shit, like, around high school. And that shit was fire. You know, that nigga was amazing at lyricism and all that shit. But I'm going to jump back on the Dipset train and shit. This ain't about Graf, but even though this nigga's great, I'm definitely going to say that Dipset was top tier as far as, like, their beefs and shit.
Yeah.
Like, they went against some heavy hitters. They came out swinging.
Yeah. Like, Cam's kind of always been a knucklehead. So it's like, even when we were younger, like, Dipset versus, like, Nas, and when Cam had, like, remade the Stan song, but it was a diss song to Nas, though. Like, this little shit like that is just, like, he's dissing, and he's also so entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
and it just makes it easier for you to gravitate to. Like I miss that aspect of music, like that healthy competition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cause Rockefeller in general, like, was in so many music beefs from all angles. You know what I'm saying? It's the one thing, and it's why I put them slightly above Death Row. It's because niggas was scared to death when Death Row was dissing people.
Yeah, because they
thought
got like who the fuck gonna go up against these? Like they're named Death Row for a reason. Like
and I love Death Row to death, but it's like these niggas dissing everybody. Nobody saying nothing back. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas scared to death. You know?
Like they're looking to go to death row, literally.
Yeah, like it's one the lineup of just Dr. Dre, Tupac, and Snoop Dogg is ridiculous. Period.
Yeah, because back then they were considered like some animals.
Yeah, that was like Pac going to death row was like KD going to the Warriors.
Yeah, it was just unfair.
Yeah.
Like you got all stars already. Why do you need to be there?
I already 73-9. What do you got trying to sign him? You know what I'm saying? Like, but
like you just set the whole league ablaze.
Yeah, but because Rockefeller was kind of more so like niggas thought they could beat him, but they couldn't.
Yeah,
like it was so many. Well, yeah, except for Freeway, you know, Cassidy got the best of Freeway and shit.
Hey, son, you can't deny. Do not deny Philadelphia Freeway, classic,
instant classic. Each person on that roster has at least one classic. Like,
I don't know about Memphis Bleak.
All right, I stand corrected.
Yeah,
I stand corrected.
Exactly.
Yeah, he does have a nice album. It's just that the two best songs on the album has come from Jay-Z.
Yeah,
but other than that, I mean, all right. Besides him though,
the rest of them,
Beanie Siegel has a classic. I mean, Beanie Siegel arguably has two classics because
Beanie Siegel was underrated.
That album that Feeling in the Air was on was jive. First of all, that song, period.
Yes, and I was about to mention that. I'm glad you went there. Feeling like that was a great song.
Hey, Slum.
Like you talk about wonderfully produced, like perfectly engineered, and then the lyrically amazing song.
Slim, as soon as you hear the saxophone go off, you know what time it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's about to get real. Let me sit down and calm down or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me mellow out.
So it's like kind of like how I would listen to fucking Reminisce Over You and the CL Smooth, Pete Rock. It's like when you hear that saxophone, it just seems like you have to pay attention.
Beanie Siegel really had everybody thinking they was being set up by somebody. Like that's how good that song was. Like man, I'm not even in those situations. I'm saying I can feel shit in the air and all. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
And shouts out to the girl who did the chorus and shit.
Yeah, shout out. And that's one thing, they always had the females who you didn't know, but could spin a tune. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no bullshit. Because I remember, like, they had a good lineup because they could get Mariah Carey on songs. Freeway had Mariah Carey on an album.
Nigga, Cameron did a song with Patti LaBelle, bro.
Like, yeah, it's just like how did...
It's a crush. It's a crush, bro. They had Michael Jackson on tour with them, bro. Like, what can you do?
Yeah.
Like, what can you do, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like,
they're like the spoiled rich kids that came from the hood, though.
Yeah. It's like they remind me of like the Dream Team. Cause remember they had like when I was younger, I used to beg my mom. This is probably like 2001. I'm all of like 12, and they was on this Dream Team tour, and I used to beg my mom to let me go to the joint and shit. Of course, she ain't having no parts of that. Like, so I end up going. Like a year later, cause that's how long tours were back then. Niggas was on tour forever. They would spin around back to another city that they already, you know what I'm saying?
Them niggas on tour for like a year and a half, 2 years and shit.
Facts. So it's like my older brother had got like the tickets and shit. I ended up going with him. But man, like just the lineup is crazy. Like I kind of feel like, to me, in my opinion, that's the best group to ever do it. As a faction, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As far as like production wise, music wise, like the swag. You know, niggas had the past, the present, the future, which the future didn't come, like the Young Guns and you ain't know you remember the Young Guns now.
Yeah, I remember.
You ain't like the Young Guns?
I remember Young Guns, but it's just like
you ain't like the.
The thing is,
Girls that call them lovers.
son, the Young Guns were good, but the problem was, like, they were carried heavily by one member.
Man, they was young.
I understand.
They were supposed to be like. By the time J and M, quote unquote, retired.
This nigga, like, let's not say retired.
Well, yeah, you know, technically he did retire. He just came right back and shit. But
nigga,
they were.
It's like Brett Favre.
Yeah, or some shit like that. They were supposed to be the future. So around that 2007-ish and 8-ish, that was supposed to be they wave. But Rockefeller had fallen apart by then.
Yeah.
So
like, they fell hard too, and that shit was wild.
So I remember, you know, Funk Master Flex, right?
Yeah.
They this is 2001, and the Dipset freestyle on Rap City is my all-time favorite freestyle on Rap City. My all-time favorite freestyle on Funk Flex is when Rockefeller went through that joint, squatted, bro. Joint was an hour, and they rapping over all these beats, and they you know they taking a break and talking and shit too, and I think it was Young Chris from the Young Guns. He's freestyling.
I told you, bro. They were carried heavily on by one member.
But this the reason though. This because it's real funny. They was like Funk Flex. He was like, "Where Neef at?" He was like, "Where Neef at?" And Jay was like, "His mother wouldn't let him come. He got school tomorrow." you know. Back then they was like young. They was like 16.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that I'm like that's why they was supposed to be for the future. Like once they hit 19, 21, that's when they was supposed to, like, they was supposed to be they shit. They was probably supposed to be right under, you know, Joel Santana. You know, I kind of saw them like forming a group eventually or something. You know what I'm saying?
Son, that would have been a crazy group for real.
It would have, with Joel's being like the leader and shit.
Man, Joel's the man, dog.
Yeah, because they was like younger versions of him, essentially. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Because Joel started off young.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think... And this wasn't even the beginning, but in Hey Ma, he was like 18.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. This is super dope group, man.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. It was like so many good albums that came out of that camp.
Yeah.
Like,
even now, because Cameron still dropped dope music.
Yeah, I remember I was listening to, like what's the 2K with Kevin Garnett on the front? Was that 2K8?
I think so.
I remember I had that jump, and I used to listen to Crime Pays while I was listening.
You want to talk about underrated? Crime Page got one of my favorite Cameron songs of all time, and it's called "I Hate My Job." Slum. When I first heard this song, first of all I'm crying because of the story this nigga telling and shit. I'm like, yo, this nigga's wilding. Like, and he's describing like the everyday struggle life of going to work. You know what I'm saying? When I say that's a man, he definitely it's music he got that he definitely didn't get his just due for, and that album was definitely one of them. Crime Pays.
Yeah, I remember I used to listen to that joint like religiously. That was a very
Facts. Definitely 2009.
Yeah, and then like after Cameron like kind of like somewhat dropped off the earth, and I was heavy on Jim Jones. I mean, I was heavy on Jim Jones beforehand.
Right.
But I mean, I was listening to like his mixtapes. I was listening to his albums. Like he coming out with the Vampire Life Jones. He coming out like my favorite mixtape of Jim Jones was Ghost of Rich Porter.
Okay. Yeah, I heard
that one was a classic. Every single song. I don't understand how people were giving him so much flack for his rapping. Like,
I honestly, in my honest opinion, it's not even me being super biased or nothing. I honestly just think around the time that Dipset first came out with Diplomatic Immunity, I honestly think somebody just came up with the notion he's the weak link in the group, and people spun off of that where he can't rap.
I mean, I can see if like he was actually rapping and just wasn't good at it. Like if this nigga was coming out with some shit and this nigga is like Crunchy Black from 3-6 and shit.
Yeah.
If you like that and shit, I can understand. But to be honest, Crunchy Black did have like some like fire moments.
That's the thing is like it. I wouldn't. There's nobody that I'd be like, damn. I might call a lot of niggas trash, but I know at the end of the day, a lot of niggas do rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think, and I even sing like a few of this nigga songs. I think Soulja Boy might be the only nigga where it's just like he don't even have one good rap song. Like where he's, cause you know like, and we had this talk a while ago. We was like, yo, you know, Young Thug be on some wild shit, but he get around the right people on songs. He can rap.
Cause like he started off as like an actual rapper.
Right.
But
and
the problem is like he went mainstream and now he's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't say he's an idiot.
No, he acts like an idiot.
He does.
Say that.
And just like we was talking about with the baby, like
Mm-hmm.
niggas get around certain niggas, they can rap.
Yeah.
But that ain't what's selling. Well, at least it's not selling records for him.
Yeah.
Cause real rap does sell.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Like Kendrick and Cole kind of proved that and shit. I ain't gonna put Drake
Yeah.
in that conversation though.
Well, old Drake.
Yeah, old Drake definitely
Yeah,
can go in
he
that
proved-
conversation.
Yeah. Hotline blinging and
Yeah, like even
Tootsie Roll Slide or whatever it is.
and then fucking niggas like Schoolboy Q, that nigga he can actually rap.
Yeah, he's a rap. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's still there's niggas out here that rap, but and a lot of people just care more about the mainstream artists. That's the big, like that's the go to and shit. Like a lot of the top tier lyricists and shit, like they ain't gonna get a whole bunch of like radio play and shit.
Oh nah.
Cause like you ain't gonna see nobody like no Joey Badass on the goddamn radio or something like that. Not unless you in New York.
I don't even know about that. Well, yeah, you get big airplay in New York.
And then like Big Crit. You're not gonna get a whole bunch of airplay from him. Now unless shout out to Big Crit and shit. Like remember when country shit came out, like with that one with Ludacris and Bun B, like that got radio play. But the thing is, he was actually rapping on that song.
Right.
And he just knows how to produce the shit so well to where he doesn't have to like make like a trap beat in order for it to sell.
Right. Which I still feel like the other kind of music would sell. Like if people were to come out with 2000-esque music, I think it would still sell.
It would. It would. It's just like we have so much of a plethora of the fuckery that it like overshadows everything.
Because I feel like that's because it's quick money.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you just come out doing that bullshit, then you can get a big payday. The labels assign you to these big deals, and I don't know. But I feel like, you know, the tables they always turn. So even though we're going through this era now, it's not gonna be like this forever. Because I thought the era that we grew up in, I thought that would last forever.
Man, they had the potential to. Ain't gonna lie, it had that potential.
And that's the only down thing I have about the music beefs. Is because that's why stuff, you know, flame out and shit as I ain't gonna say quick because the music that era lasted a long time, but that's why the gods change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we beefing, somebody might die, somebody might get locked up for something or something. And, you know, people just want to have a good time at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, now they going to focus on all this club music because they not trying to hear all that gun shit.
I mean, they still do hear all the guns. Like, that's
well, now you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chief Keef got it. Chief Keef kind of got it. So it's like, now, you know, that's just super cool again. But the dynamic of it is off. Like, niggas ain't. You know, like we said about Dipset earlier, like the swag talking from a drug dealer's perspective, it's not that no more.
Yeah.
Because niggas is on the drugs now. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas is
It's like it's the drug addict point of view.
Right. So you're
it's like Mizzle, like if Mizzle made a fucking mixtape and shit.
This is how it would be. Right. Exactly. Shout out to Mizzle too, man. Cause that's one of my man right there. Hey, I'm Mizzle. Yeah, former heroin addict, cokehead. Saying killer addict, and I tried it. I itch, he scratched. Yo, no homo, man.
I forgot what album was that from?
Purple Haze.
It was?
Yeah.
Because I remember hearing that shit, I just forgot where it was from.
Yeah, that Purple Haze, but I'll tell you Purple Haze classic, man. Because a couple of, like I said, I was listening to him this morning too. A couple of the songs came up and shit. I like, once you bring up the name, then the shit just start filling back into my brain and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like,
roll that shit, light that shit. Smoke that.
He was like, you know, the one thing Killer taught me is that if you're gonna do something, go all the way with it. He's like, if you smoke, he's like, don't just smoke weed. He's like, try cocaine, but don't stop there. If you're gonna sniff cocaine, he's like, shoot meth. He's like, if you're gonna shoot meth, he was like, try it was something else. It was like some other drug and shit. He's like, try heroin. He was like, Cameron had all that shit right there for sale, man. Funny motherfucker. He done talked him into buying all the drugs and shit. Nah, but yeah, Cameron was super influential. Like when we was in high school, we was Rockefeller, but the core was Dipset. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like that's what it was always viewed upon this shit. Like, the shit was just iconic, bruh. Like, it was just, you just literally, like, this nigga, he's so swagged out. Like, we was talking about on the Rap City Zone when he's rapping, counting the money and shit. Like, bruh, who was doing shit like that?
Man, that right there. Like, that was an iconic point for Rap City. Like,
it was.
Like, even to this day, I will still randomly just go back and listen to that.
Right.
It's like even I wouldn't even just skip parts either. I would listen to the whole thing because you have to listen to every single last one of them.
Because all of them were fire.
They were.
Yeah. And then that was the Jersey era.
Yes.
The Jersey do-rag fitter era.
Because Jim Jones came through with the big ass jersey and the do-rag and shit.
When I tell you, like, I'm like, bro, where's niggas getting these cheap jerseys from? And
man, what?
These dolphin, like, the colorway.
Yeah, he had
the
Sean Taylor jump.
Yeah, Joel's had the little dolphin jump. Yeah. I think Jim had what? It might have been Priest Holmes.
It might have been. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But either way, that shit, the fitted with the bandana, red bandana around the jump. Like, bro, shit was like shit.
He was the only nigga that could do that too.
Yeah,
like he could put a bandana around a fitted.
Yeah, because Joel was just used to wear the bandana, and it's like he had the bandana to match the Dolphins. Like, where you get that color from? Like, where you get that from? You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey yo, that's what Santana, the bandana.
Yeah, like,
hey yo, whole time. Back like cook crack. Red bandana. Can you?
Yeah, facts.
Man, that song was so fire.
Yeah, facts.
Yo, and it, like, cause it was a rock. It started off with like that heavy guitar. Like, boom, down. I was like, oh, this is fire. Yeah, I love this song. Yo, Santana, man, I listened to Back Like Cook Crack too, and I think that was what it's off of. Well, matter of fact, no, I think it was Back Like Cook Crack 3. And man, I was just because he started off like the first song was it was him rapping off of Ludacris's joint. Is it?
Which one?
What was the name of the song? Is it? But it started out like burn, 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 burn. Like I forgot what the.
Yeah, I forgot. How you think it? How you think other artists feel like when they listen to a nigga mixtape and like he done used your beat? Like not as no diss or nothing like that, but you think like niggas be like flattered or like how you feel? Besides Lil Wayne and shit, I knew niggas was sick of him.
Yo, everybody was sick of that nigga.
Was mad at him and shit. But
he was making classics out of other niggas' songs. They forgot they made the song.
Yeah, but other than that, like you just like, all right, Joel Santana got mixtape, is my man and shit. and then the first song is just like one of your jumps or some shit. Like wouldn't that be kind of flattering though? Like
I mean, it would.
Yeah, nah, ain't nigga fuck with me and shit. You know, you gonna use my
Yeah.
little music. Yeah,
And sometimes it's flattering because it's like, oh, I didn't even know the nigga knew about me like that.
right. Or listen to me, or fuck with me like that. Right. Yeah. Cause I always thought like, if you're a music artist, do you listen to everybody's music? Because there's a lot of other artists in the game.
There is.
Like, so do you like? I wonder, like, what? I wouldn't know. Like me, because I grew up listening to like the old school rappers and stuff like that. That would probably be like who I would listen to now, if I was in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoever makes that style of music. So I would listen to like Cole and Kendrick and probably a bunch of other underground artists, because I would get tired of the lean promethazine.
That's why I just jump back into the underground, bro. I be listening to everybody, bro. Like, I'll take Sci-Hi to Prince or Royce the 5'9". Give me some Crooked Eye. Like matter of fact, the whole Slaughterhouse and shit. Like I'll lump them in together. Like give me like the whole Slaughterhouse or some shit like that. Give me Graph. Like it's just so many niggas. Like Joey Badass. Like it's even a tier under them and shit. Like give me a Tech 9. Give me give me Ritz. Like white dude rapping and shit. Like give me them. Give me Marlon Craft. Like let me get Marlon Craft in here. It's so many rappers out there just like, because people are just so focused on mainstream, they say, "Oh, hip hop is dead." No, it's not.
Well, it's convenient though, because like everybody doesn't have the access to everything like we got.
Well, I mean, I technically don't have the access. It's the fact is like I just decided to learn and figure out who these people were.
Right, but people don't have, because the main consumerism, I'll say, consumerism is like people just going and coming back and forth to work. You know what I mean? Or the radio. So it's like they don't have the means to be like, let me research some artists or something like that.
But niggas be in their house, be cleaning or some shit like that, or they'll be out
and they have the radio on, or I guess nowadays the streaming apps. Spotify.
And I be finding niggas all streaming apps. Like
it depends though. Like you have to make a conscious effort to want to look though.
Not really, because I mean it goes into your recommendeds and shit like that. Based off of what you're listening to, like it goes into your recommendeds, and then eventually you jump to that and be like, oh, I like this guy. Who is this? Let me go ahead and find him. Or on Facebook and Instagram and shit, it's people that on there that.
But niggas not looking for music.
Shit, I learned about Marlon Craft through Facebook and shit. This nigga was doing the raps in his room and shit.
But you're looking for it. That's what I'm saying.
Not really.
You are. Like you're.
I just randomly stumbled there.
When you're on Facebook and you're like, you see some music and you're clicking on it. Like the average person is not doing that. I'm trying to explain what the average person is doing.
This shit was like damn near viral.
Nobody's on Facebook like just like scrolling the timeline like, oh, music video, let me see what's up. Now people do it, but they're not average. Is what I'm saying.
I guess.
Yeah, like the average person is simplistic for them.
I mean, I be learning about a lot of niggas through like nigga Sway and shit. Like he be having a whole bunch of shit like. That's one thing I can say about a nigga Sway. Like he be having upcoming niggas and shit.
Yeah, I'm fucking with Sway. I ain't fucking with Sway back in the day, but yeah, I'm fucking with Sway now.
Yeah,
Funk Master Flex be on some nut shit. So
yeah, I don't know what the fuck that nigga be on.
Yeah, some nut shit, Pat.
That nigga, man, that nigga, he wilding the fuck out. Son.
He do be wilding. Cause
didn't that nigga say that Drake is better than Jay-Z and some shit like that?
Just cold foolery. I don't even argue about Jay-Z no more, bro. I'm at this point, I'm just convinced, like it's just like people gonna find a way for him not to be like. I ain't even saying he the GOAT, but people gonna find a way for him to not be great.
Yeah, I can understand if you putting somebody up there with more of a catalog, but
a real catalog.
Yeah,
like come on.
The only reason why a lot of these people are really popping is because it becomes like viral trends.
Facts.
If it wasn't for social media, a lot of these artists and shit wouldn't even be popular because of
facts.
Like they create like dances out of songs and shit like that, and all of a sudden like the song is viral. No, if it wasn't for that, most of the rappers would not be popular. But Jay-Z was doing that shit without social media.
And against stiffer competition.
Definitely stiffer competition.
Like Drake is at the top, and his biggest competition be Cole and Kendrick, and they don't even make music a lot.
Yep. And the people that go up against him as far as like battles are concerned, he loses, but he can take a gentleman's 30 and niggas will still fuck with him even though
Cause he'll stop respond. Like, remember back in the day, you lose a battle, your career was just like hit.
Yeah.
Which made that's what made the rap beef so special. You know
nowadays you can't fucking lose and shit. Look at that nigga 6ix9ine. That nigga he can still win.
Right.
Even when he loses.
Right. And it's like everything's just so weird. I don't know. But yeah, Cameron, Dipset, huge influence on my life. I'm gonna go ahead. I can tell the story now.
Yeah, you can tell the story.
You know, I anytime I get, I always tell the story, man. You know, one of the bright spots in my life, man. So you know, Dame Dash had went on Breakfast Club, and his interview had went viral because he was saying like, you know, be your own boss and shit like that. And on Twitter, that hashtag had went viral. It was trending, be your own boss. So everybody was coming up with like little scenarios where they was being their own boss and shit. And typical black Twitter, it goes from being like super positive to super foolery in a matter of moments.
Yep.
So everybody was being their own boss. Niggas was cooks. Niggas was like landscapers. Niggas was doing all types of good stuff. And you get past that, and all the jokes was right there. So niggas was, I forgot what niggas was doing. It was like a plethora of stuff that niggas was doing. So I was like, I'm just trying to be OC and talk what I see and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming up with shit that don't make no type of sense anyway, but I'm posting it any fucking way. So I posted John saying like, when I die, I don't want no pallbearers. I'm gonna carry my own casket, cause Dame said another nigga should never be lifting you up or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And then I put the hashtag be your own boss. So it got a good reaction on Twitter. But then, like, when I had woke up the next morning, kind of like how today was and shit, one of my mans, he ain't my mans no more and shit, but, well, one of the male mans, I'll say, well, he ain't male man no more either and shit, but, yeah, he had messaged me and was like, yo, you know, Cameron, reposted your joke on Instagram, right? And I was like, damn, for real? And he sent me the little screenshot and shit. And he had, like, screenshotted it to where he left my name in it so you could see who made it. And then had posted it and was like, yo, y'all really hilarious on this junk with a bunch of laughing emojis. And then, like, niggas was all tagging me on the junk. When I say that shit made my life swim, I was like, hey, yo, this nigga Cameron really posted me, Slim. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. This is it right here. Like a repost from Jay-Z is the only thing I feel like that'll top that.
Oh yeah, you already got the repost from Courtney that you wanted and shit.
Yeah, well I got bigger dreams with her, so I'm on the way. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say about her. I'm on the way, Slim. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I was like, yeah, that was the Cam story though, and that was like, man, you grew up idolizing this nigga, and this nigga think you funny and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's alright, young. You know what I'm saying? Like that's alright with me, man. You know. But yeah, that was the story. You know, you got anything you want to add before we get up out of here?
One more thing I need to add, man. Give his man his just dues. Juelz is an unsung hero.
Shout out Juelz,
for
man.
Dipset and shit. Like he branched off and did like music with other people, and he would body tracks, and people would still look at him as like somebody who would just rap in like single, like a couple syllables and just that'll be over with. No. Like, he's had songs where he's bodied a track.
What's your favorite song?
Like, man, it's too many to think of, bruh.
Yeah,
it's just like,
I want to say like Cameron. It is too many, but I think like I can give like 5 that I probably listen to almost every day.
Which is?
Hey Ma,
All right.
um, Hey Ma, it would be the I Hate My Job, don't. It would be it's this joint called Hey Lady where they sampled the the Zap and Roger Computer Love joint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um it's what else? I'm trying to narrow it down to 5. That's Welcome to New York City, Cameron and Jay-Z. And then it's like it'll be a tie between like you ever heard the little girls wanna have fun jump?
Yeah, I heard that one. That was on Killer Season.
Was it?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it was on Killer Season.
What? It might have been.
Yeah,
I remember hearing it a lot of times.
But it'll be a tie between that jump and the Purple Haze intro with the little air guitar and shit.
Nah.
Because that shit was his intros are like super. Because the Killer Season intro was like
yeah. Like their intros are normally epic anyway.
yeah,
Cause I remember the Hustler's Poem intro.
yeah. They know how to make an entrance. Like
Cause their intros are normally like really heavy.
yeah,
Like
it set the tone.
it does. Like, cause when I listen to Hustler's Poem and shit, and once I hear this nigga Jim was like, "You never know what it took to get here." I'm like, "Oh, nigga, this is want to get fired. I want to get fired."
Yeah,
and you just hear that. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh my goodness.
That's one thing I miss in music.
Yo,
the struggle rap. I miss struggle rap.
man.
I miss struggle rap.
But one Joel's song, one song Joel's was on that I can really resonate with and shit. Well, that I liked a lot was his verse on "Emotionless." Emotionless side on Jim Jones on Hustler's Poem Jones. Man,
yeah, that was fire.
4-door Bentley looking like steroids. Jets and car, I'm looking like Elroy. Maserati looking like a shark on land. Neiman Marcus edition, contraband. Son, oh my good, like that was fire.
Yeah.
And then I Am Crack off of What the Game's Been Missing.
Yeah.
Man, he bodied that song.
That's probably like that might be my favorite Joel John, the I Am Crack down.
And then the Murder Joint, like when they sample Bob Marley and shit.
Oh yeah, okay. Joel.
Oh, was that Bob Marley or was that Ziggy Marley and shit? Like did they sample?
I don't know. Like to me, all of them be Bob Marley to me and shit. My bad, y'all. But you know, they any little reggae type John, yeah, Bob Marley. You know what I'm saying?
Man, but I'm telling you, like he had, and then also Red Bandana and shit. That
yeah. And also like some of the little silly jumps too.
Yeah.
Mr. Postman and all that shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was sweet. That was fire too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like he balanced. He balanced. So I like all that.
And then he did songs with Wayne and shit. The little I Can't Feel My Face jump.
Yeah.
Man,
that was a classic mixtape too. Yeah, I kind of give Dipset the nod that they kind of got Wayne started on that tirade.
Yeah, because they gave him his like his due diligence. They was like, all right, come on, this is somebody you need to listen to.
Yeah, because at that time, Southern rappers was just Southern rappers, and only I want to say Ludacris. I mean, outside of like Scarface and
yeah, the whole
outside
the Texas area.
Yeah, outside of like the supernova niggas, I want to say like niggas wasn't really respecting the South like that. I kind of feel like Dipset gave the South, you know, using Lil Wayne that is, like the northern platform. And cause what was that? What was that song? Was it Sucker the Knot?
Yeah, the Sucker the Knot jump where Lil Wayne was on it and shit.
And then like you said, I Can't Feel My Face. And just going from there, because it's something else that Lil Wayne did with, like, I think the Purple City Bird Gang or some shit like that. Shout out to them, too, because that wasn't nobody but Jim Jones, Max B, and Uncasa or somebody. I forgot. It's just
Jim
so,
Jones and Max B by themselves is actually pretty good. And shit.
yeah. Max B is actually like on Cameron new I think it's Purple Haze 3 or Purple Haze 2. I forgot what it's called. But his newest album that came out in 2020. Max B. But before we go, one last thing about Cameron. He you know how they did like the kings of sampling beats. He also does this thing where he can rap over the original old school beat without even sampling it. Because it just made me think of it because his new album, the song he got with Max B, that's what he's doing. It's like one of them old J Jones, but it's actually like the beat. It ain't a sample, it's actually like them. You know what I'm saying? You know how they take the beat and then they scrunch up the little voice to like a cartoon voice and then speed up the beat. Nah, it's actually like that's also what he was like very good at is like doing those kind of songs too. Like I said, the song he got with Patti LaBelle, the little daydreaming Jones. You know that just I don't know, man.
It is just off the wall type features and it worked.
Yeah, Mariah Carey and of course R. Kelly.
It's like you can't miss.
Yeah.
Like how the hell? Like with them niggas, like you couldn't miss. They had a plethora of styles.
Yeah.
Like
you can get a hit with somebody.
Exactly.
Something was gonna click.
Exactly. It was really nothing you could do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They had sleeper niggas that could actually body you on the track.
Just
No, it was just unfair.
Definitely was unfair.
Cause like I said before, people will look at J.R. Wright and was like, nah, that's a weak link right there. Until you get on the track with him.
Yeah, them niggas was like that. Stuff. A movement like that, it only can end from self-destruction. Like, cause niggas would have never flamed out. Niggas like that don't ever flame out and shit. You got like niggas like Snoop Dogg still around, Dr. Dre still doing this thing.
Dr. Dre ain't never gonna stop, son.
Yeah, so like shit like that. If Pac don't ever die, even though they say he was gonna leave Death Row anyway, but if he don't die and he stays with Death Row never flames out until they want to flame out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of felt like Rockefeller was the same way. If Jay doesn't want to leave and they don't end up selling it, they just never will flame out.
Yeah, and Hotel, I don't think. Well, you know what? I really think that yeah, they probably would have. When Biggie was alive and shit, I think Bad Boy probably still would have flamed out because because Diddy and shit, Diddy was too.
Yeah, now that we see what's gone on since then, and how first of all, Biggie was like top tier, but when you look at like how far away his first two albums came out, that's a storytelling of itself. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like for him to be super successful and his first album comes out in 94, his second album comes out when he dies, which is in 97. That's strange for somebody to be successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 years, like looking at it as a kid, you don't know no better. But looking at it now, knowing what I know about music and how like the industry and label stuff work, that's strange. Mm-hmm. Like how is he on the shelf? And granted, it's an album, the Junior Mafia album, somewhere I think 95, maybe 96.
Yeah, that shit don't technically count.
Yeah, but how? Like, I don't know. That's another podcast for another day. But you wanna plug anything before we go?
Oh well, yeah. Let's plug this shit.
Okay.
Again, we've mentioned numerous times, we are looking for people to be in short films and skits and stuff like that. If you do want to be a part of that, hit us up. You want to do the handles, or you want me to give out the handles?
Go ahead.
Okay. My handles are on IG, 4 of a kind Mike, which is 4OFAKYND, all one word. _ Mike. I mean, you should know how to spell Mike and shit.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And then on Facebook, Michael Watford, MICHAEL WATFORD. Picture of me with the ponytail and looking away from the camera in the forest and stuff like that, just so you can know that that's me. Avery, his stuff or
Yeah.
Teddy.
Yeah,
And
you know.
let's give him his actual, like, the toxic Teddy and shit.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
just you could just I'll keep mine simple. You could just search Bear Black Man.
Yeah.
Bear_Black Man. Facebook, Instagram. I would say Twitter, but I don't think that's my Twitter. I can't get y'all what my profile picture is. You know, subject to change. I change it a lot, so yeah. You want to work, do some short skits and do some short films. You know, photography. You know, from the talks of it, we might be starting documentary soon. You know what I'm saying? So
we kind of been talking about stuff like that.
you know, so anything. You just want to come out and just scope it out. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? I was thinking, like, even if I wasn't doing none of this, but it was people around here doing it, I would at least want to be around and watch. Like, this is, like, what we do is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I would say so.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I would at least want to be around to, like, watch. So if there's anybody else that's out there like that, and, you know, I got to slide this in before we go and shit. You know, if you could hold up a mean microphone.
I knew it was coming.
You know
I knew it was coming.
You know, we need niggas with this, help out with this audio. You can find niggas. You know,
come on, bro.
Feed niggas grapes or something. It's like, nah, I'm bullshitting. But it's been another Breaking the Narrative podcast, and we out.